Okay, welcome again. So this time I want to go over some more recursion problems because I think that was a very important part of this, as there's no real true loops to use. So my first example is we're going to call it count list. So we'll call it C list. Basically, it'll just count the amount of elements in a list. And again, I just want to do this because it just kind of shows you how lists work and how we can do this. So this time, we don't actually need the value of the first element. And I'll show you why in a bit, because we only care about visiting it, not, actually knowing what it is. And this little underline here, which I don't think I've shown yet, it just means it's like a placeholder. It means nothing, right? It just looks, in my opinion, a little bit better. So we do that. And we're going to need a result of some type, right, to return. Okay. So let's make this as simple as possible. So let's say A is, well, we'll say equal to, let's say 1, right? Because we got to count up each time. I just had a billion fault, though. And then we're going to need to do what we did last time and call the list again, right? And if we followed the same kind of format, we throw T there, right? And we throw S, because we want this final sum. Okay, cool. So we know this. And remember, these got to be commas. That was my own mistake, I just noticed. And then at the end, it's basically the same thing, right? We just go, oh, S plus A, because we want to add it each time. All right, well, let's go C list. And then we'll give it a list. We'll give it 1, 2, 3. And you can see me actually doing something similar to this before, because I wanted to check that it would work, and I wasn't dumb. And it turns out I wasn't dumb, so we're good. So C list, and we'll call it X, right? Okay, cool. Okay, period. Oh. Ew, unknown procedural. And you know what it is? I didn't reload the file. Count it now. False. Why is it giving us false? And I can tell you, we don't have a base case. We don't have like a C list. And let's say it's just empty, right? And then we'll go 0. Okay, cool. And dot. Right? Okay. And I bet you're thinking it will work now. I bet you were screaming at me when I was doing that. Unknown procedural. Oh, oops. I just gotta go put a C. Oh, and it's a list. There we go. C1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Well, if I calculate right, it's 3, right? And we can even double check this. We can switch these equals to is, and this will actually do the math. So let's do that. Let's reload the modified file, and 3. Okay. Can we make this even better? Yeah, totally. Go to this. What happens if we go 1? Okay, file. Reload modified file. Alright. So if we can do this on this one, would that mean we can do it on this one? Yeah, absolutely. It's just more clear. I was trying to make it very clear what we were doing there, right? Because it doesn't really matter. Because basically, this is going to go 3 times, like recurse 3 times, and add a plus 1 for each recursion, and then return them each time. And the all is saved. Okay, wonderful. We know how to count a list. Okay. I didn't really think of any other important examples, but I think this is another good one, right? Because it just shows you how to count a list. I think I'll make another video where I make like a game kind of thing to show you how it might work in Prolog. Like, we don't actually program games in Prolog. I'm not actually entirely sure what Prolog is really good for. It's supposed to be a simple AI language, but it was built so long ago now, but it's kind of, it's had its going. But anyway, I think it's still kind of neat to learn how to do, and I'm enjoying going through some examples that I've thought of, right? Okay, so what's something complicated we could do? We could for example, in Prolog, make, and this is an example my teacher gave us, and I will not make the whole game because it will take me a while, but basically he did a formal sheep, no, sorry, formal goat, wolf, and cabbage, right? He said there was a formal, a goat, and a cabbage, and these were facts, right? And so they had a boat, and they all needed to get across. And so this is one island, and this is another island. They all need to get downhill. Well, the issue is, when the farmer goes over, he needs to take one thing at a time. So let's say the farmer takes the goat over, and he goes back to get the wolf, and he leaves the wolf there, while the wolf eats the goat, right? And say if we take the goat over, and then you take the cabbage, well, when he goes back to get the wolf, the cabbage is gone, right? So there's all these different possibilities, right? And basically, what my professor showed us was how we can write a Prolog set of rules, essentially, and give it to, and submit it, and basically, the program will give us the exact results of how you need to go about getting all of them over successfully, right? So obviously be, oh, cabbage, wolf, goat, right? Formal. Which works, right? And I kind of want to leave this as a problem for everyone to solve. And if I get people asking me to come do it, I will come back and I will actually go through and make this problem myself. But for now, as a help, right? The things you need to do is you kind of need like maybe a north and south, right? We need these as options because they need to be north or south, right? And we don't actually write the fact like that. We'd write the fact more as a variable, right? And we have to, when we're thinking about this, we can imagine, oh, well, the farmer's going to take the goat back and then go right back, right? So he's only going to be north or south, and it's going to be opposite to the other person. So basically, and this is a big hint, you can do this. You can go, oh, opposite, north, south. And then, if you have another fact that says opposite, south, north, what's going to happen is it's going to actually flip them on you when you call this, right? And this way you don't have to write quite as many rules, which you can do, because you're going to also need an array, right, for all of the farmers, goats, wolf, and cabbage location. You need a go rule, right? You need like a move thing to walk, and you would also need, I think it's go move, because go and move are different. Go is just basically like you're starting it, you're sending the information. Move is gonna basically change them every time. Like the move is the options that you could take over. Oh, you could take the farm on the goat. You could take the farm on the wolf, right? And those are the options. The other ones are the checks. So when you go, oh, unsafe, right? This is going to tell us when, for example, the goat and the cabbage together, that's not a good move for the AI to make, right? If you want to, you could also make a safe, right? Because in Prolog, what we can do is we can use not statements when we call stuff, right? But that's a lesson for another day. But yeah, so you need go, move, unsafe, or safe. And these are the main things you want to do. And if you want to get fancy, I would recommend looking up the different Prolog functions that are already built in. For example, you can do light and write some words, right? There's other ones like that and other things to help you too, right? And if you just go to look up SWI Prolog rules, that's your best bet. Also, I neglected to mention in the one before, or this one as of yet, that if you want Prolog, you just look up right up here, SWI Prolog, and you can just download it. And I'm literally just using Notepad right now, right? You can write it on anything. You could write it on VS Code if you wanted, if you like the look of that. But I'm just writing on this because it's simple and there's syntax errors are very difficult to do in this language. So yeah. Anyway, that's my short little example I wanted to go over. I know the previous one I did probably better examples, but the idea of this one was just to explain the recursion a little better. I hope the D product and C list, me going into more detail, would help, because it's a pretty annoying concept to get down. But yeah, okay. Let me know if you guys want more of this.